My dear students, good morning. Today we shall proceed the chapter 1, Language of Chemistry. Our topic will be chemical equation. First we should know what is chemical equation. A chemical equation is the symbolic representation of chemical reaction using the symbol and formulas. Now, chemical reaction. What is chemical reaction? It is a chemical change which is permanent and new substance is formed. Suppose it is sodium, this is chlorine. When it combines, it forms sodium chloride. Here two elements combine together to form a new substance due to a chemical change, due to a chemical reactions. Here the reaction is written in the form of symbols. So a chemical reaction is the symbolic representation. Here given, for example, burning of coal. It is a chemical reaction. New substance is formed, that is your carbon dioxide. First of all, if we say when carbon burns, it forms carbon dioxide. What we are saying, when carbon burns means we are giving the statement. This one is your statement. When carbon burns, it forms carbon dioxide. Now, same thing, if we write the name of the elements, carbon plus oxygen, arrow, carbon dioxide. So this is our statement. Here if we write carbon plus oxygen, when it is burned, it forms carbon dioxide. So this statement, if it is written in this form, it is called word equation. But the same word equation, if we write in the form of symbols, then this C plus O2, CO2, it is called chemical equation. Now, what are the steps involved in writing a chemical equation? First, write the symbol or formula of the reactants. Likewise, first we will write like this: HCl plus NaOH. These are the reactants. If two reactants are there, we will write a plus sign here. Then write arrow. If only one product is formed, no problem. But if two products are formed, NaCl, sodium chloride is formed, plus water is formed. If two products are formed, here we write the symbol plus. It is written here stepwise, reactants on the left hand side with a positive sign if it is required. Then write the formula of the products. If two or more products are formed, write positive sign. Then between the reactants and products, we write symbol. Then represent the reactants and products in their symbolic form, molecular form, because atom forms are usually neither stables. Atoms cannot be found in the nature. Here is another example. When an element sodium dissolved in water forms sodium hydroxide and hydrogen. So these elements or compounds taking part in the chemical reactions are known as reactants, and whatsoever the new substance is formed, it is called product. Now a chemical reactions may have following things: one reactant and two or more product. If we see, here is only one reactant, calcium carbonate, but products are two, calcium oxide and carbon dioxide. Here is lead nitrate, only one reactant, but product is what? Lead oxide, nitrogen dioxide and oxygen. One product may have two or more product. Two reactants and one product. Like ammonia, two reactants and one product. Ammonia plus HCl, hydrogen chloride. It forms NH4Cl. Ammonium chloride. Here are two reactants, nitrogen and hydrogen combines at high temperature, it forms ammonia. Third, two reactants and two products. If we can see here, silver nitrate and sodium chloride are two reactants and silver chloride and sodium nitrate is formed. Two reactants combined to form two products. Likewise, two reactants and three or more products. We can observe this. When copper combines with this concentrated sulfuric acid, it forms copper sulfate, water and sulfur dioxide. It is evolved. Now next one is your skeleton equation. Skeleton equation is nothing. It is also a chemical equation. But what is the basic difference? It is an equation that represents a chemical change. You can see here, I have written equation number 1, equation number 2. In equation 1, I have written hydrogen plus oxygen, it forms water. Here also, hydrogen plus oxygen, it forms water. But what is the basic difference? Can you observe? Here I have written hydrogen. In this first reaction, there are only two atoms of hydrogen, two atoms of oxygen, and product, two atoms of hydrogen, one atom of oxygen. Where one oxygen atom has gone? Atom can neither be created nor it can be destroyed. Here, 2 2s are 4 hydrogen atom, 2 hydrogen atom. Here is also 4 hydrogen atom and 2 oxygen atom. In the first equation, the number of oxygen atom is not same on both the sides of arrow, means on reactant and product side. But in the second one, the number of atoms of hydrogen and oxygen is same as this one, means the number of all the elements, number of atoms of all the elements are same on both the sides, on reactant side as well as product side. This one is called balanced equation. This one is called unbalanced equation or skeleton equation. So skeleton equation is what? The equation in which the number of atoms on reactants and product sides are not equal. They are called. Now next is our balance equation. What is balance equation? There are two factors. Mainly we consider the number of atoms. In terms of atom, the number of atoms should be equal on both the sides, means on the reactant side and product side. So a chemical equation in which the number of atoms of each element is equals to, on the reactant side it is equal to the number of atoms on the product side. Such equations are called balanced equation. So in a balanced equation, the balanced equation is what? In an equation in which the total number of atoms of each element on both the sides, means in the reactants, means on the left side of the equation, is same as the number of atoms in the product sides. They are called balance equation. If you can see here, one atom of calcium is on reactant side, one atom of calcium is on product side, one atom of carbon is on Reactant side, 1 atom of carbon is on product side. 3 atoms of oxygen is on reactant side, but here 1 plus 2, 3. 3 atoms of oxygen is present on product side. Equation is balanced. Now see here. 1 potassium atom on reactant side, here is 1 potassium atom on product side, 1 nitrogen is here, another 1 nitrogen is here. Both potassium and nitrogen's number is same on reactants and product side, but here is 3 atoms of oxygen on product side. 2 plus 2, 4 atoms of oxygen is present. How one new atom has come? If we are knowing that atoms can neither be created nor destroyed, so this one is not. Now the question arises, why an equation should be balanced? There are 2 factors. First one, there should be the same number of each element's atom. Number of atoms of each element should be equal on reactant and product side. One term is here, conservation of matter or conservation of mass. Means the total mass of reactant should be equal to total mass on the product side. For example, here see, here is hydrogen plus oxygen. It is forming water. The mass of atomic mass of hydrogen is 1. So here is 1 hydrogen into 2 means 1 into 2 plus atomic mass of oxygen is 16. So 16 twos are, here is 16. Here is what? Hydrogen plus. So 1 into 2 plus 1 atom of means 1 into 16. If we simplify it, it comes 14 gram of here. 2 gram of hydrogen, 32 gram of oxygen. Means overall it is 34 gram. What is the 34 gram? It is reactant. And on the product side, it is 18 gram. That means in this reaction, 16 gram of hydrogen plus oxygen is lost. Plus 1 oxygen atom is also lost. But we know neither atoms nor mass can be lost. So this is called conservation of matter or conservation of mass. That matter can neither be created nor destroyed. It can be changed. Now we take this hydrogen, oxygen, water is formed. If we write it in balanced form, then we see that here 4 atoms of hydrogen combines with 2 atoms of oxygen and it forms 4 atom of hydrogen and 2 atom of oxygen. Equation is balanced. Now you calculate the mass. So 2 into atomic mass of hydrogen is 1 into 2. It will be 2 into 1 into 2. It comes 4. Now atomic mass of oxygen is 16. 16 twos are 32. It comes 32 gram. On product side, this 2 is common for both hydrogen and oxygen. So here 2 into 1 into 2 plus atomic mass of oxygen is 16. It is 2 into 2 plus 16. It is 36 gram. Now if we see 36 gram of reactants, after reaction it forms 36 gram of product water. Here neither number of atoms is lost, neither mass is lost. So mass of the reactant and mass of product is same. This is called conservation of mass. So a balanced chemical equation follow the law of conservation of mass. Now, how the any chemical equation is balanced? There are two methods. One is heat and trial method. It is heat and trial method. It is also called, and another one is partial equation method. This one is called partial equation method. It is also called half equation method. Today we shall see heat and trial method. In this method, we count the number of atoms of each element on reactant side as well as product side. It is written here, count the number of frequency. Frequency means count the number of how many times an atom or how many times the atoms of an element is occurring on both sides. That is called a frequency, number of occurrings, how many times it occurs. The element with least frequency means those elements should be balanced first whose number of atoms is least. For example, here we can see copper combines with sulfuric acid, it forms copper sulfate, sulfur dioxide and water. Now on the reactant side, one copper is here. On product side, one copper atom is here. Hydrogen is 2. In this side 2. Both the sides have 2 atoms of hydrogen. Sulfur. On the reactant side, one sulfur atom is here. But on the product side, 1 plus 1. 2 atoms of sodium are present. From where this one, so here 1 atom of sulfur is on reactant side, but 2 atoms of sulfur is on product side. From where 1 atom of sulfur has come? No, it is not possible. Atoms can neither be created nor destroyed. But on the reactant side, here are 4 atoms of oxygen, but product side 4 plus 2, 6 plus 1. 7 atoms of oxygen is present on product side. Now 3 new atoms has been created, which do not follow the law of conservation of mass. So now first step, we count the number of atoms on each side. Now here number of copper and hydrogen on both the sides, number of atoms are same, means they are balanced. So see here, 1, 2, here is 4, 7. Obviously sulfur atoms, the frequency of sulfur is least. So first we balance the sulfur. Second step, copper hydrogen are equal on both sides. So to equalize sulfur atom means we have to make equal number of atoms of sulfur first. For that, what we have to do? Multiply this one, sulfur atom, means multiply the reactant side, this one, so that number of atom of sulfur will be 2. So this gives this equation, copper, this. Now here you count. The copper is 1, copper is 1, hydrogen is 4, but hydrogen is 2. So earlier this hydrogen atom was balanced, but after multiplying here, number of hydrogen atom is 4 and number of hydrogen atom, this one. Number of hydrogen atom is 4 and number of hydrogen atom is 2. Sulfur is balanced, but hydrogen is not balanced. So now to make the hydrogen atoms equal on both the sides, we multiply this water molecule by 2 here. After multiplying water molecule 2, now you count the number of each elements. Copper is 1, 1. Hydrogen is 2 2s are 4, here is 4. Sulfur is 2 into 1, 2. Here is sulfur 1 plus 1. Now oxygen, 2 4s are 8. Here is 4 plus 2, 6 plus 2, it is 8. Means all the atoms of each element is balanced. Next example is As2. My dear students, this As stands for arsenic. It is arsenic oxide. Sn stands for tin. It is also called stannum chloride. When reacts with acid, it forms this. These are the products. The similarly first step, count the number of atoms on each side. Then if we can see, here is the list. Now one by one, as the previous one, we balance this one. What are the informations which is given by a balance equation? Suppose here is this one. Sodium hydroxide reacts with acid, it forms sodium sulfate plus water. Sodium sulfate, it is a salt. What information does it give about the actual result of chemical change? Means new substances are formed. First information. Second, what are the reactants? What are the elements or compounds taking part in a chemical reactions? What are the substances formed as a product? So it says us about the reactants taking part in the chemical reaction and the substances formed as a result product. It also says the number of atoms. First of all, I'm also saying that it is molecules, but I'm using atoms. Okay, first we will deal with the molecules. It says the number of molecules of each substances on both the sides. The 2 molecules of sodium hydroxide, 1 molecule of sulfuric acid, here 1 molecule of sodium sulfate, 2 molecules of hydrogen, water. Or even in the terms of atoms, we can say, if we can calculate 2 atoms of sodium, 2 atoms of hydrogen, 2 atoms of, like this. It also says the number of atoms present on the reactant side and number of atoms of each element present on the product side. So it says the number of molecules of each substances taking part in a chemical reaction and number of each substances molecules formed as product. It also says that 1 molecule of sodium hydroxide contains this and this. So what will be the number of hydrogen and oxygen present in 2 molecules of sodium hydroxide? Means it also says the number of atoms present in the reactant side as well as product side. And it also determines the mass of reactant side and product side. First, if we can say 178 gram of reactants and 178 gram of products, both are same, means it follows the law of conservation of mass. So about molecular mass, that 80 parts by weight. Suppose if we take it in terms of gram, so 80 gram of sodium hydroxide react with 98 gram of sulfuric acid and it produces 142 gram of sodium sulfate and 36 gram of water. So it follow the conservation of mass, that the total mass on the reactant side as well as product side are same. This information is given only by the balanced equation. We had seen that in a unbalanced equation 36 gram of hydrogen and oxygen were reacting and only 18 gram of water was formed. There was a loss of mass which is practically not applicable. So balanced equation gives us the conservation of mass. Once again I am telling you what are the limits, means what information is not given by a chemical equation. Here I have written some chemical equations. We shall proceed one by one. For example, it does not tell us the physical states of reactants or products. Physical states means whether they are solid, liquid or gas. Can you say whether they are solid, liquid or gas? Whether these are solid, liquid or gas? No, we don't get these informations. How much time will be taken for the completion of reactions? Any reactions? How many seconds, how many minutes or how many hours, how many days or months will take to complete this reaction? It does not tell us. Even it does not say that whether reaction is complete or incomplete. We don't get this idea from a chemical equation. Then, whether heat is given or heat is absorbed. For example, how this reaction takes place, whether on heating or in a normal conditions without heating. Whether heat is produced or heat is absorbed, it does not tell us. Respective concentration of the products or reactants. Here, zinc, when reacts with acid, it forms zinc chloride plus hydrogen. We are not knowing what type of acid this is, whether it is dilute acid or concentrated acid. The chemical equation does not tell us these things. It also do not tell us reaction is rate of reactions. It is reversible or irreversible. Whether reaction is complete or incomplete. These are the demerits of chemical reactions or chemical equations. Now, a chemical reaction can be more informative. How? Kaise? There are certain informations which can give us the idea. First one, information regarding temperature, pressure, catalyst, etc. by writing. We can give this. A reaction can be made more informative. For example, if we write here this carbon, if we write it here S, means it is solid, it is gas. After burning it forms this R. This is also gas, this is also gas, but this is liquid. My dear friends, gas is also written as like this. So here, if we write here It says us that a solid carbon reacts with oxygen, which is a gas, and it forms a compound, gaseous compound, carbon dioxide. So here, if we write here this symbol, it gives us that when carbon plus oxygen is heated, means this symbol stands for heating, it forms carbon dioxide. Here is another example. It is CaCO3 and this forms calcium oxide plus carbon dioxide. When this is heated, anything become hot when it absorbs heat. So here heat is absorbed. If we write here heat, means here heat is absorbed, then the reactions takes place. Here zinc is cold, acid is cold, and this one is formed. Here one gas is formed plus heat is produced. So if we write it here heat, means this one is, in this reaction heat is produced, but in this reaction heat is absorbed. So we can say that this is exothermic, in which heat is produced, and this is endothermic, in which heat is absorbed. This is zinc plus acid. It does not tell us whether this acid is dilute or concentrated. If we write here DIL, means dilute. So now this reaction says us that the acid used is dilute. It gives us another information. Now see here. Nitrogen plus hydrogen forms ammonia. It is also not saying how it is formed. So if we heat it around 450 degree to 500 degrees Celsius, it gives one information that this ammonia is formed when this and this is heated at this temperature. For more information, if we write here 200 atmospheric pressure to 900 atmospheric pressure, one more information is given. This reaction proceeds in presence of catalyst. Catalyst is what? The substance which is used for in a chemical reaction, which either increases or decreases the rate of reaction, but it does not take part in the chemical reactions, are catalyst. So if we write here this powdered iron, means this reaction says that in this reaction powdered iron is used as catalyst, and if we write this MO, this is molybdenum, this is promoter. So if we write these things, so when nitrogen plus hydrogen is heated at this temperature, under these circumstances, ammonia is formed. Similarly, now ammonia dissociates to form nitrogen and hydrogen. Means from nitrogen and hydrogen, ammonia is formed, and from ammonia, this and this is formed. So if we give this symbol, it says that from this, these things can be prepared, or from these things, this can be prepared. Means this reaction is reversible reactions. Another information, here sodium chloride reacts with AgNO3, silver nitrate, AgCl, silver chloride, and sodium nitrate is formed. Can you say whether both the products are soluble or both the products are insoluble, or one of the product is soluble and another is insoluble. If we are knowing, if we write this arrow like this, means it will settle down. So it forms precipitate, form gas. We put this arrow on the top side. For the insoluble substance, we put arrow on the bottom sides. So if we write these things, we can make the chemical equations more informative. So thank you. Then we will proceed on the next day. If you have any problems, my dear students, we all the teachers are ready to help you. Only if you make a contact. My phone number is written below. If there is any problem, contact me. Thank you.